school trip is coming up soon. I was lazing around the club room, preoccupied with thoughts of the upcoming trip. Old man Odin's talk with the Japanese gods had safely concluded, and he had been returned home. It sounded like it had been a resounding success. I returned the replica hammer to him as well. As for Volley, he had wholly vanished, taking Fenrir with him. That was actually a major problem, but seeing as we captured Loki, we would soon learn everything we needed to know about that oversized wolf, and would be able to develop new strategies if we had to face him again. That white dragon bastard's real goal had been to capture Fenrir. It was partially our fault for not realizing it, but still, I couldn't forgive him. Just what was he planning to do with that creature? I guess I've been right all along. I would never see eye to eye with Volley. Azazel wasn't joining us today. He had said that he was going to see Barako off, now that his job here was complete. We had offered to come along, but Azazel insisted on going alone. Issei, we've been busy a lot lately, but we really need to go shopping for things before the school trip, Azia said as she read the pages she had bookmarked in her guidebook. Azia, I've heard that the school trip is a good chance to wear fancy underwear, Zenovia stated. Azia's face turned red. Really? Yup, apparently. If you don't, everyone would laugh at you when we take our communal bath together or go to the hot spring. I don't have any cute underwear, so maybe we could go shopping together? I didn't know the school trip was so involved. That sounded like Kirio's doing. Well, from a girl's perspective, a lot of thought probably went into addressing pros and cons of each piece of underwear. Female society sure sounded strict. White is the best. That's the primordial design. The kind that would make the Lord and Archangel Michael sigh with satisfaction, Irina declared enthusiastically. Nah, Ozzy and I are going to wear lucky panties. Uh-huh, me too. You can't. The color of the faith is white, or some embroidered with a cross. Our church-maiden trio is now arguing over underwear. What the heck happened to them? Admittedly, it was kind of peaceful in its own way. The recent battle now felt very distant. At that moment, I had a thought. The stronger that we became, the more we realized that there were greater enemies out there. And for whatever reason, they frequently had it in for us. It wasn't like I wanted to be the strongest person in the world or anything. Although, I did aspire to be the mightiest of pawns. That said, if anyone were to attack us here, we needed to be strong enough to drive them off. It was essential for our familia to fight effectively as a unit. I myself had to get more powerful too. I wanted to keep exploring the possibilities Azazel had suggested to improve myself as a Red Dragon Emperor. The only way that was going to happen was talking some sense into those lingering memories of my predecessors in my sacred gear. I did want to develop a new technique. Perhaps I asked Azazel for her guidance. I could get Kiba and Saji to help too. I'm finished, came a frantic woman's voice from the center of the club room. It belonged to that silver-haired Valkyrie, Rossweisse, who was weeping uncontrollably. How cruel, Lord Odin. How could you leave me behind? Yeah, Odin had gone home without her, just like that. He must have realized by now that she wasn't with him, and yet we heard nothing. If he hadn't reached out for her, or any of us for that matter, that could only mean... I've been fired. That's what it is. I've worked so hard for him, and he left me here in Japan by myself. I mean, I'm incompetent. I can't do my job properly, and I'm a virgin. I've been without a boyfriend for my entire life. Rossweisse was falling into the pit of despair. Come on, don't cry, Rossweisse. I've made sure there's a job for you here at the academy. The press encouraged, resting her hand on her shoulder. Really? Yes, just like you wanted. A teacher, not a student, right? That's correct. I've managed to skip a few grades back home, so I've already completed my studies. I'm young, but I know how to teach. Seriously? She didn't look much older than the rest of us, and she had already chosen a path of a teacher. But, will I be able to survive in this strange country? If I go back home, everyone will get angry. How dare you come back here without Lord Odin, they'll say. And then they'll fire me again. And I thought I finally found a job that would give me a comfortable life. She seemed pretty depressed about all this. Returning home without the god that you were supposed to protect did sound like trouble, though. Don't worry, I have a plan. The press approached Rossweisse, showing her a handful of documents. If you join us in the underworld, you can access all these privileges and benefits. Rossweisse gasped as she read over the papers. Impossible. Look at all these insurance benefits. And these are fixed terms payments? That's right. Quite the bargain, don't you think? They're amazing. I never knew demons received all of this. And the base salary is so high. These conditions are much better than over in Valhalla. Riaz was trying to bribe a Valkyrie. The press was acting like an insurance salesman. This was the epitome of a demon whispering in your ear. Demons made their living by making deals with greedy individuals, after all. And this was a high-level demon putting your mastery to work. The press had a natural talent for this. She truly was a being of the underworld. By the way, you also get these benefits by joining me. I did hear that one of the prestigious demon kings is a Grimoire. Oh, and that certain special products made in the Grimoire territory have been selling very well. That's right. Such a career path would be at your disposal, should you desire it. We Grimoires are always looking to recruit talented individuals like yourself. As she continued to tempt our poor Rossweisse, the press pulled something out of her pocket, a crimson chess piece. What do you think about joining my familia and trying some underworld work? With your skills, a work piece would allow you to become an armored magic user. All you need to do is accept this one piece. Every last one of us in the room was stunned by the press's offer. How could we have not have been? This was Riaz's final piece, her last rook. She was going to use it to recruit a Valkyrie into our ranks, one with a mastery of spells no less. At present, the only wizard types adept in magic we had were the present Arcano, so I understood the logic behind the offer. Rossweisse becoming a rook would make her a mobile target capable of unleashing all manner of spell barrages. Her other techniques were excellent. Honestly, the combination of magic and rook seemed fantastic. I could see it working to everyone's advantage. On top of that, Rossweisse was a cute beauty and incredibly cute. She had her clumsy moments too, however. This feels like fate. I may be letting myself get carried away here, but it feels like this was inevitable ever since I met you in that underworld hospital. Rossweisse accepted the crimson-colored evil piece. As she did so, a bright red glow filled the room, and demon wings sprouted from her bag. All it had taken was one rook piece. Given that she was a Valkyrie, a Norse battle maiden, I had wondered whether one would be enough. Maybe Norse people had different kind of affinity with evil pieces? It was recently announced that unused evil pieces would grow in response to the demon who owns them. Kipo explained to me. The Demon King Ajuka Beelzebub, who first made the system, is famous for hiding unused features like that into his programming. If I understood it right, there were yet unknown elements to the evil pieces system. And Demon Society was equally impressive for allowing that kind of thing. Maybe they liked adding a little irregularity here and there. I did seem to remember them getting excited whether a rating game match took an unexpected turn. There were a lot of variation when it came to reincarnated demons too, so there were a great many possibilities available. The silver-haired Rossweisse bowed to each one of us. Everyone, I'm Rossweisse, a former Valkyrie, and I've just been reincarnated into a demon. The pension and healthcare plans in this underworld seem to be much better than in my homeland, and I was offered a high degree of financial and job security, so I decided to enter your ranks. I look forward to working with you all. Her expression gave off a kind of brainwashed vibe. You heard it, everyone. Rossweisse is the Grimoire Familia's second rook, the press stated with a smile. She truly was an expert at manipulating others' greed. A genuine demon. Well, I guess it's fine. I joined out of desperation too, Zenobia remarked as she sipped at her tea. I couldn't deny that there was some similarity in how the two of them had been added to our familia. Welcome, we all greeted in unison. We were all happy to have Rossweisse, of course. And how could I say no? Another beautiful woman joining our familia. Count me in. First Zenobia and now Rossweisse. The press had used up our remaining pieces rather quickly. Oh, when we next meet, Lord Odin, you'll be in for a reckoning. Rossweisse muttered with a creepy smile. She was so scary. A powerful aura was emanating from her. It looked like she genuinely resented the old geezer. Maybe Rossweisse wasn't entirely all right in the head. For better or for worse, our familia was now complete. There was the Prez, Akano, Kiba, Azia, Konako, Zenobia, Gasper, Rossweisse, and me. 9 of us in total. We would have to think of some new battle formations. Just as I was pondering potential strategies, Akano handed me a bento box. This is extra, but you can have it if you like, Issei. Stewed meat and potatoes. I picked up a piece of my fingers and lifted it to my mouth. The taste of a wonderful seasoning spread across my tongue. It's delicious, Akano. I don't really know how to describe it, but it makes my heart feel at ease. It's different from how my mom makes it, but it still tastes like home cooking. Akano handed me a pair of chopsticks, and I began to dig in. You've got to trust me, it was seriously delicious. Akano joyfully smiled as I devoured my food. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Oh, your lips. Wondering if I had food stuck on my face. I lifted my hand to brush it off, but before I could, Akano's face drew close. For a brief second, her lips pressed against my own. It had been the lightest of brushes, but it had definitely been. Oh, that was my first kiss, you know, Akano said, her cheeks tinged red. Kiss? Did that even count? It hadn't been intense, that was for sure, but our mouths had certainly made contact. The other girls had been watching this whole time, now fixed me with a murderous glare. Issei, care to explain yourself? Issei? The Prez, Konako, Zenobia, and Azia all approached me, each of them absolutely terrifying. Why did this always have to happen to me? I cried internally, to no avail. Kiba, Gasper, help! The male members of this familia had swarmed back when we were training to always come to one another's aid. However, Kiba merely shrugged, flashing me a forced smile, while Gasper literally ran away and hid in his cardboard box. Did our manly promise to have each other's back mean nothing? Gah! Akano wrapped her arms around me from behind as the Prez and the others moved nearer. She seemed so happy. And there, right in front of everyone, she declared, I love you, Issei. The Prez positively fumed upon hearing this, her crimson aura flaming dangerously. Issei, Akano, I'll never forgive you for this. Thus did my daily life grow more hectic. Now that the trouble with Loki was over, I, Azazel, had joined Baraki to go shopping for souvenirs. It sounded like a bunch of those idiots down at the headquarters had asked him to bring some keepsakes back with him from the human realm. They were always putting in obnoxious requests like this. Well, with me as the governor, maybe that couldn't be helped. This should be everything they asked for. Good work. He sat down beside me, looking exhausted. Seeing how stiff-laced Sparkio was, this sort of activity couldn't have been easy for him. But whenever he was trusted with a task, he was the kind of person who saw it through to the very end. I pulled a bento box from my drawstring bag, handing it to him. Here, take it, Barkiel. What's this? He asked. Just open it, I urged him. Boxed lunch. Akano had asked me to deliver it to Barkiel earlier. Truthfully, she had given him no verbal instruction, but it was apparent who the food was meant for. This. When Barkiel opened the box, We saw a wide assortment of multicolored Japanese-style food packed inside. Baraki glanced across at me, suppressing a grin. I urged him to dig in. He picked up the chopsticks and started by bringing a piece of potato to his mouth. At that moment, a tear ran down his cheek. Stewed meat and potatoes, just like how Shuri used to make them. He began to shovel one item into his mouth after the next, his chopsticks moving in swift silence. The man was completely absorbed in the food, tears streaming from his eyes. I glanced over at my close friend. Let me, Riaz, and the others look after Akano. Everything's fine. The man she's fallen for may be a bit of an idiot, and a pervert too, but he's a good guy. Baraki stopped eating for a second, covering his eyes in his hand. Muffling a sob, he said to me, I want to believe that he'll take good care of her. You've got nothing to worry about there. He doesn't feed off a woman's breasts. Nope. I see. Baraki let out a sigh of relief before returning his attention to his food. That cooking of the woman he loved, something he thought he would never taste again, had found its way back to him after all this time. And you'll be able to eat more of it, buddy. Just as much as you want. And Issei, I can never say this to your face, but I think I owe you one. Damn it. I'd never thought I'd ever meet a dragon who could make people happy through breasts. It won't be long before they realize what we're up to, Cao Cao. Yes, they're drawing close, but that's fine. We've amassed enough in a way of new recruits. Perhaps we should proceed to the next stage. Indeed. We're almost ready. It's time. In that case, who should we negotiate with first? Do you think they'll fall for it? Stripping away their alliances one by one, I mean. Oh, they will. No one wants a full-scale war in this day and age. That was why the old demon regime failed. First, we open up negotiations. Everything will proceed as planned, Siegfried. Understood. The only ones capable of defeating the Demon Kings, monsters, and dragons alike are heroes, as it has ever been.